Hey everyone, I'm back with kind of a quick addition to the previous video. I just realized that I didn't really go into detail or talk about the Stance socks in terms of their performance at all. So this video is going to focus primarily on the Stance socks and their performance, as well as a couple of details that I didn't really go over in the previous video that I wanted to cover in this one. Okay, so with the Stance socks, again, as I said in the previous video, they announced they're going to be the new official providers for the NBA socks. And these are going to be the old NBA socks now. Okay, so again, these retail for about $25. Very expensive for a pair of socks, and I wouldn't advise anybody to pay that much. Right? There's the Stance logo, and the the NBA logo. Again, they made their debut, I believe, in the All-Star game, and these are the East edition for the East team. They also have that that left and right designation. Okay, so a couple of things about the socks themselves. They are very good performance socks, right? Just going over overall thickness and thinness. If you see, you can see like the elastic lines kind of hard to see. The lighting is not good enough. Running through the, there we go. Right, going vertically there. You see those lines. This area is thinner than the rear panel. So this area right there, this white and blue area, and then if you go to this blue reinforced panel right here, this area is a little bit thicker than the front part right there, and then this black panel as well. Once you get into this area, and then the heel and the toes, this area is nice and thick and cushy, but where you see those elastic lines in the front, it's thinner than the rest of the sock, and it follows the other the pattern of the other socks as well, which I'll get into in a second. And then you have this elastic band kind of running around the middle of the sock here, and it's very tight and noticeable. When you put them on, you can really feel it. When you walk around and play, you don't really notice it. But when you just put them on, you can really feel that. It's a much more noticeable, like dedicated band in the middle, as opposed to some of the other socks. Okay, so again, that pattern that I was talking about, if you look at the other socks here, like the Nike Elites, they follow a similar pattern where you have these vertical elastic lines. Right, and this area right here, I kind of lied in my previous video. I said the Elites were the same thickness throughout. What I meant was like in the heel area and in the toes, it was kind of the same thickness. But if you look at this elastic part right there, right, these lines, that area is a little bit thinner than the rest of the socks. And then once you get to this panel in the Achilles and then the heel and then the toes, it's the same thickness. They also have a band, in the midfoot there, just to keep everything in place, which is slightly thinner than the rest of the sock. Right, so those lines right there are thinner than the other areas there. Okay, same thing for the Under Armour Undeniables, the Currys. You can see the lines right there, that elastic, right, going the length of the sock until this point. That area is thinner than the rear panel here, which is thicker and cushier, and you have this extra support right there, this part right here, and then the heel and the toe area. They also have the elastic kind of a band around here. Maybe it's not elastic, but it's just a band, and it's pretty much the same thickness as the other parts. So really for the Undeniables, it's just this section here. It follows the same pattern as the Stance socks and the Nike Elites. And then you have the Adidas Lillards, the traction models, right? Again, you can see these vertical lines, right? Going pretty much, these go further than any other sock. It continues all the way up until almost the toes right there. So you can see that. And then they do have this like band. Same concept, I should say. They have the same relative thickness throughout the entire sock, so that's one slight difference between these and the other models. Okay, they're pretty thick throughout the entire sock. And then the NBA socks have the same thickness throughout the entire sock as well, except for this ankle area. But in terms of the top and the bottom, this whole section is just the same thickness. Okay, so that's the features that I wanted to go over, in addition to the things I talked about in the previous video. So again, the Stance socks, they retail for $25. They are available in some places with coupon codes and things like that. I don't think the price justifies the performance. Like, they're not noticeably better than, say, socks that retail for like half the price or lower. Not the Currys though. The Currys are like 20 bucks anyways. But I also don't think they're like worse off either, right? Because if they're gonna cost more, they better be good performers. So they're certainly not worse off than the other socks. But I don't think that price really justifies the overall performance, I guess. Like the Nike Elites are still the standard, in my opinion, for how much they cost and how long they last. And like the things I mentioned in terms of being able to hand wash them and hang dry them, and just the overall, value is just really, really high for the Nike Elites. Okay, so again, any questions or comments about any of these models or anything, please leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching this, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.